The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus are probably Apple's most polarizing iPhone releases ever, as they ditched the headphone jack for the first time. It's kind of too bad that's what almost everybody focused on though, because at its core, the iPhone 7 is a reliable and well-built device, one that actually holds up really well even over 2 years later. Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and today we're going to be taking a look at the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Are they still worth buying in 2019? The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus look very similar to the iPhone 6, but clean up the design in some very key ways. The antenna bands no longer go across the back, which makes it look much better, and there are also various more color options, which is always nice. The iPhone 7 is made of aluminum still, but brings water resistance and stereo speakers, something that was new to iPhones at the time. There are of course two size options with the 4.7-inch iPhone 7 and 5.5-inch iPhone 7 Plus. Which you get should come down to size more than anything else, although there are some benefits to the Plus model. The first and main difference is that the secondary telephoto camera lens allows for 2x zoom and portrait mode shots. This of course is only on the Plus. The Plus is also faster with an extra gigabyte of RAM, and it has a bigger battery to boot, which makes it last a really long time even under heavy use. That being said, again, size should be the main factor in which model you should get if you're torn between the two. If you don't really care, then well, the Plus is the better phone, although it costs a bit more money, and at that point I might just suggest getting an iPhone 8, but we'll get to that in a minute. Directly below the display we have Touch ID on the home button, and it works perfectly well and quickly. The home button isn't actually a physical one, but a capacitive one. Essentially, when it feels pressure, the phone will vibrate to mimic a click. This might sound weird, but trust me when I say it's not a problem and you get used to it fast. Plus, less physical parts means less breakable parts. Battery life on the iPhone 7 is okay. The smaller one should get you through the day without any issue, assuming you're not, using it a ton. The iPhone 7 Plus, on the other hand, has a pretty good battery and should easily get you through the day, even under heavy use. The iPhone 7's camera is still pretty good at 12 megapixels with the ability to shoot video in 4K. You can get some really nice shots with it, and the optical image stabilization really helps everything look smooth. The 7 Plus again has that second camera lens on the back, which allows for 2x zoom and portrait mode, but not much else. I'll be showing some photo examples in a second, but first, let's go over the front-facing cameras as well. They're 7 megapixels, a good increase from the 5 megapixels in the 6S, and can take some half-decent selfies, or at least I'd imagine it could if I wasn't the subject. Regardless, if you were thinking of getting the iPhone 7 but were worried about the camera, don't be. Both the rear and front perform more than well enough in 2019 and can get some really stunning shots, in the right lighting at least. And now I'll put some pictures up for you to see for yourself. Speed-wise, the iPhone 7 is very solid with Apple's A10 Fusion chip and 2 GB of RAM, and the 7 Plus is of course even better with 3 GB of RAM. Long story short, anything you do on the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus is going to feel fast and fluid. From gaming to social media, you aren't really going to have any complaints. iOS 12 runs like a charm, and the 7 feels faster than ever. It's a pleasure to use and doesn't feel 2 years old. So with that all in mind, is the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus still worth buying? So far, they sound pretty darn good, and not like phones from 2016. But before we give them the seal of approval, let's turn to pricing. Apple still sells these phones starting at $450, which isn't bad, but also isn't great. If you want to get the iPhone 7 new, you'll probably want to look towards buying on contract from a carrier, as there are frequent deals on the phone, and it shouldn't be too hard to find one. Or the other option is you could buy the 7 used off eBay or Craigslist. Turning to eBay.com, we see it goes for around $300 used, and often less, which is a pretty good price point. So all in all, if you really are set on getting the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus, then I'd say go for it. Both are great phones in 2019 and you aren't going to have any problems. However, if you're a bit unsure, I'd actually recommend you go for the iPhone 8 or 8 Plus, as they have the same basic design, but are faster and have better cameras. Plus, you get double the storage at 64 gigabytes instead of 32. They'll get at least an extra year of support and will feel faster for longer. So if you're looking long term, they are the much better buy. If you want to see some more of my opinions on which iPhone you should get, I'll link some comparisons in the description below, as well as my full buying guide for iPhones. And with that, I think I'm pretty much done here. I've always liked the iPhone 7 and have felt that it's a bit of a pity people overlooked it simply because of the lack of headphone jack, although I really do miss that headphone jack. But the iPhone 7 is still a great phone, and it's nice to see that it holds up really well in 2019. If you found this video helpful or interesting, maybe hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. You can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at 91_tech if you want some more tech in your life. And with that all being said, I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and I will see you all next time.